Be strong.
It is a doubleheader of racing tonight on a Saturday night. First open wheel action as we welcome you into the Velocity Online Racing Series. It is VOR in the running of the St. Jude 300 here at the Michigan Speedway. I am the captain, Chris Scala, as we welcome you into race number 2 of 9 of this fantastic series this evening. Again, this is the St. Jude 300, the first of the Triple Crown races for this VOR IndyCar series presented by Raceverse. Before we get started with anything, you notice I kind of started a little later tonight than usual. Just want to explain what's going on. Unfortunately, my timing and scoring about 35 minutes ago, I was organizing my folders, had everything set up for the broadcast, decided it reset itself when I moved it to the other folder. I don't know why. I've reached out to the support team from that timing and scoring company to see what can be done, if anything. Otherwise, it completely reset itself, and I had numerous edits in this program so that I could put the broadcast on like I do. So tonight is going to be vanilla when it comes to graphics. It's going to be the basic SDK gaming graphics you're going to see up here on the screen, so forgive me for that, but I won't be able to give you the cool ticker on the left hand side and all that cool stuff. It's going to be just basics tonight, so please bear with me tonight. It will be worked on tomorrow, obviously on an off day before I get back on the air on Monday. So that is why you're not seeing the race information and stuff like that on the track here this evening. But qualifying is going on right now, and let's take a look at the race information for the Michigan race here, the St. Jude 300. This is what it's going to look like tonight on the Michigan Speedway 2-mile track. As you see, 18 degrees of banking through turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The bottom groove is actually a little less banked at this track, so because of that, you're going to see cars running the middle groove up pretty much throughout the race. You're going to see pack racing for 150 laps and 300 miles in this race around this 2-mile track. The front stretch banked at 12 degrees and the back straightaway at 5 back in Season 3. Alex Van de Sant won this race, and we're looking forward to a wild one. Home of the race formerly known as the Michigan 300, if you remember, or Michigan 500 back in the day for the IndyCar series. So we're looking forward to a great race this evening. That is the race info. You'll see the yellow marks on the screen. That is pit entrance. Basically, they have to enter at that point, and then all the way off of turn 2, that is where they will exit pit road. So that is how that is all marked out with those color codes. We'll try to show you that each and every week during the race tonight. Or during the race each week, I should say. So looking forward to a great night of racing. Of course, the doubleheader in play this evening. We start here in Michigan, and we'll wrap up later on this evening over at Talladega Superspeedway for the USRC Grand National Series. We'll talk about that later, but tonight we're going to focus more on this IndyCar series known as Velocity Online Racing. It looks like most cars have taken a lap and are going to grid here very shortly as they go through qualifying. I believe it's actually 10 minutes of qualifying, so they should be done here in about 4.5 minutes or so. That gives me a chance to go over some other things that we have on the docket this evening. First, let's get timing and scoring up right now. As you see, Christian Jasper on the pole, a 32.64. He's got him Samuel Lampret by about 5/100ths. Jonathan Duncan, Kristen Nelson coming off a top 3 last week, and Thomas Geisler, your top 5 right now. Again, all these times should be right on top of another. You're going to see Pack Racing in 2 races tonight. So if you're a fan of Pack Racing as AJ Musselman jumps to P1, that is what you're going to get this evening. So looking forward to a lot of fun out here on the track. Who else is out on the track right now? Julian Altena is out there, and for some reason it's there we go, not cooperating with me until now. There's Julian out on track. There we go. Now it's cooperating. For some reason it wasn't cooperating with me at first there. And again, you're going to see little things that might happen during the broadcast tonight that I didn't remember to fix because I had to real quickly go in and turn things off and on and stuff like that. And because of that, you might notice some errors on the stream tonight. So just forgive me, and again, bear with me during all of that. I promise I'll have everything fixed back to normal come next week. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go talk about the pole award. We didn't get a chance to talk about the pole sitter, of course, getting a awesome sponsorship for the series. And, of course, now I'm looking for it and can't find it. So, yeah, that's add this to my list of things that I'm having all kinds of issues with. So, it's going to be one of those nights. But you know what? I'm going to bear through it, and I'm going to have some fun doing it, and hopefully you do the same. Hit that subscribe button, by the way, if you haven't already. I appreciate everybody joining us throughout this evening and throughout the season. There it is. The Pole Award. If you use code Foxworth Autosport, you'll get free shipping on orders over $20 at CircleBDiecast.com to get great NASCAR and IndyCar diecast. They do ship continental U.S. and Canada. Who will get the Pole Award tonight? The CircleBDiecast.com Pole Award. Nicholas Sudik right now just jumped to the pole with a 32.63. You'll see Julian right now in the P5 position. Julian, unfortunately, only made it 1 lap last week. And you're going to see me make an edit real quick to something because this is going to annoy all of us tonight when you see this camera looking at that light. This is one of the cameras. That should work right there. All right. So, with that said, we got that going on tonight, and also announcement that Julian and the guys asked me to take care of. Their Formula One season just ended recently for the Velocity Online guys. It actually ended this past weekend, I believe. And because of that, Season 2 is going to be starting up in a few weeks. The FW31 car is what they use, but if you go to VelocityOnlineRacing.com for a Discord invite, you can be a part of that series coming up next season as Dakota DeMay goes to the pole this evening. But make sure you go to VelocityOnlineRacing.com, or you can follow VOR on Twitter and get information from there. It's Isaac Morris, P4 with a 32.61. You see all these times pretty much on top of another. Robert Sadler making his return tonight. He missed the first race of the season. He is in with a 32.59. Some pretty good times. Gary Godso a 62. So, as you're seeing a lot of times on top of another here this evening in qualifying. Let's go out here and see who else we got on track. I believe I've covered everything, so we're going to... Oh, how did I... Give me a second. I'm going to make one edit because apparently there's a way, and I got to remember how to do this, where... There we go. That's what's happening. So what was going on is it wouldn't let me click on the driver on my timing and scoring to select them. So now it works. So there we go. As we hit the 10-minute mark, and we will grid for the starting lineup. I'm just going to keep it over on the left-hand side here as they grid. That is going to be your starting lineup for tonight's race here at the Michigan Speedway. Dakota DeMed is going to win the CircleBDiecast.com Pole Award. Congratulations to Dakota on winning the pole this evening. I almost wonder if my telemetry was pulling an April Fool's joke on me or something. But again, use the code word Foxworth Autosport to get free shipping on orders over $20 at CircleB.cast.com to get great NASCAR and IndyCar diecast. Again, they do ship continental U.S. and Canada. So starting lineup over there on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the cars gridding over on pit road right now. And we will meet those drivers. They'll grid here any minute. There we go. There they are. But Dakota DeMay wins the pole. Robert Sadler will start on the outside of row number 1. Row number 2, Shane Coogan and Matt Houston in the Raceverse car. Let me make sure my... I don't want to forget the paints. Yep, I didn't even have the paints on, so thankfully I'm going to catch that right now, and all the paints will update real quickly. You'll see that all upload just like that. Isaac Morris will start there in the 5th position, a VOR car. Alongside him, Gary Godso in the blue and silver VOR car. Lataco Bell, number 87, and Nicholas Sudik. He'll start alongside Oscar Fredrickson. AJ Musselman will start alongside Christian Jasper. There's Craig Forsyth. And Season 3's winner, Alex Van de Sant, there in the 12th position. Gavin Sanders, Samo Lampret there on row number 7. Last week's winner, I thought I got rid of that. Anyways, Cohen Evans will start next to Julian here it is, Altena. I almost said Altena. Altena is his last name. Antonio Estrada will start next to Kristen Nelson. He'll appear there in a second. Thomas Geisler and Michael Schoenert in row number 10. Tony Patty, Austin Saar, row number 11. Jose Miguel Phillips Vigera will start next to Lewis Woodall. Christian Alagio will start next to Joe Harleman. And Jonathan Duncan and Diego Parra. Duncan's going to start on pit road, it looks like. But the cars are rolling off as we will get ready for 150 laps of racing around this track. Alrighty. I put the instructions in, but apparently it's not going to work. So you're going to see these lights up here on the screen. I have no control of them. Unfortunately, I don't think. I had set it up in the settings to where it wasn't going to show up, but ignore the lights up the top of the screen. Seeing if I can make it work somehow. Not going to work. So again, 150 laps of racing on this 2-mile course, going to make up the St. Jude 300 as DeMay and Robert Sadler going to lead him to the green flag, and 150 laps of racing underway. Right off the bat, Shane Coogan going to try to do what he did last week at Homestead. Get out here and lead the first lap. The Brano did not take the green flag down in the 28th position. Otherwise, Shane Coogan Dakota DeMay up to second already, with teammate Matt Houston. Sadler's falling back to 4th, and Isaac Morris your top 5. This is what you're going to see mostly tonight. Pack racing, and that's going to be in both races this evening. You're going to see the green over on the left-hand side. When you see that, person gained a spot. When you see the red on the screen, that person lost a spot at that moment. Gary Gonzo already coming up to the third position, started in 6th. Biggest mover already, Thomas Geisler, up from 20th to the 14th position. 3 wide in the front straightaway here. You got to look out for that seam there. That will spin your car out easily. You got to be very careful here. Question is, who wants to lead this race? Because by leading, you're going to take away the least amount of fuel in the cars. When you're in the draft, you can save a little bit of fuel in this race, but these cars do make pretty good fuel mileage when it's all over with. So Coogan continuing to lead there. He's got Dakota DeMay, that orange number 82 car, and then side by side for third is Gary Gonzo on the outside with Matt Houston, that checker number 66, the race first car on the inside. Oh, one car out of shape back here and wrecking off turn 2. Caution is out. Lewis Woodall's one of the cars. The other one is Thomas Geisler. That'll bring the caution for the first time. Lot number 5. Car numbers on there. All right, let's go see what happens to these cars, and we'll keep an eye on pit road. Pardon me for that noise. I thought I had that fixed too, but I don't. You just see contact, it looks like off the corner. All right, we're going to do this the new school way, or the old school way tonight, so we don't have to listen to that noise all night. We will just back up. And show it this way. Oh, it looks like a piece of the wall. Geisler got a piece of the wall down in the Woodall, and they both get collected up pretty hard. And that brings out the caution here for the first time this evening. All right, so I'm going to turn the screen off for a quick second and fix something really quickly. I am still here, just working on one little edit real quickly. Forgive me. All right, we should be good to go now. Wanted to get the track map on the screen there for you. There we go. So caution number 1 on the track. Everybody has stayed out, it looks like, for the most part. Not seeing anybody on pit road other than a couple cars in the back. Jonathan Duncan, Christian Alasia, Joe Harleman, and then the 2 damaged cars from that incident on pit road. And once again, I do apologize for the issues you're seeing tonight here on the channel. Unfortunately, that ended up bigger than I wanted. I'll try to make the map a little bigger for you so you can see that. All right, so Dakota going to bring them back to the green flag this time by Shane Coogan, Matt Houston, Gonzo, Sadiq, and Morris, your top 6 on the grid right now. There, put a little color on the screen. Figure if we're going to have fun with this, we're going to have fun with this. I haven't used the old school stuff like this because this is the original stuff they hand you right here. Obviously, I've gone with the more upgraded stuff that come back to racing here at lap number 9 of this 150-lap race here in this St. Jude, Michigan 300. Appreciate everybody watching tonight on the broadcast. If you are watching, feel free to chat it up with us a little bit. I do enjoy chatting with the viewers and stuff. 14 viewers watching this evening so far. If you guys have any issues or see any issues, please let me know so I can work on it. I am a one-man show. And we will go back racing here at lap number 9. So Woodall looks like going to be out of the race according to telemetry there. As we'll go back racing here at lap number 9. Dakota with a pretty good start, and you got to be very careful here because the draft will play a role. If you get out there too far, these cars will bring you right back in. Car spinning over here on turn number 2. Estrada's gone around one car hard in the wall. And that car is Tony Patty, it looks like, has gone into the wall. Tony's car destroyed over here, this white and blue. Number 91. Let's see what happens here, replay. Right there is Estrada going around and then clips the 91, and nobody else gets involved. Watch out for that tire. And that's going to bring out the second caution here of the evening. Broken left rear wheel there, so yeah, and might be the end of the night for Estrada. Actually, both of them got destroyed tires. That might be the end of the night for both of them. But second caution out on the track. And this allows me to potentially do some more work. Yes, there we go. This will fix this. Oh, wait, I got it now. That's fixed. And then the sound actually comes from over here. I remember now. So I thought. So you see the cars getting fixed up on pit road here as Dakota brings them again back to the back straightaway. And forgive me being quiet. I am here. I'm just trying to get things edited here a little bit. I'm trying to get that sound out. That's my next goal. I've got the I remember there's a way to turn that sound off so you don't have to hear it. So we're going to download this real quick. Yes, I'm literally downloading things right now as we're doing this. A lot of people talking about clearing a black flag for apparently some kind of issue. They're looking at that, but you know, one thing obviously that the league does not play around with is seeing people take advantage of the flag system and stuff. So it's like, hey, there we go. No sound anymore. No more transition. We're good. That's going to be everything tonight. I'm leaving it alone from here. So. There's your wreck. Let's actually, we're going to look at it one more again. And let's go on board with Christian Alejo here. As the wreck's going to happen right up ahead. cuts it to the bottom and misses both cars. So great job by Christian. You're not going to be able to turn the chat volume up when it comes to the race because I have that quieted on my end. But if you're talking about like me, for instance, or something, then that's on my end also. I have to turn it up. Just let me know what you need to hear. If you're talking about the chat volume in the race, that I have off right now, actually. It's a button that I have. All right, so appreciate you guys being patient with me. We're set to go. I'm leaving the rest of this alone. We're good tonight. I will get this fixed for the weekend, but I do apologize for the inconvenience of those who actually enjoy my graphics. I got to do it all over again. All right, pace car going to pull off with Dakota DeMay up front with Shane Coogan, Matt Houston, Godso Sudik, your top 5. Here we go. What do you mean by chat volume then? Everybody pretty much single files. They'll just work the draft here to get back up into the pack. 91 of Tony Patty back on the track, 2 laps down right now. If you're watching your dad on like a stream of his or from iRacing. Gary Gonzo going to the front. The Donald Davidson of iRacing IndyCar. Leading this race over Shane Coogan. Dakota's there in third now. Houston and Sudik, your top 5. And Dakota going to run that ultimate bottom lane, which actually has a little less banking on it. Fastest lap just ran by Julian Altina, back in the 11th position. That just tells you how this draft is working right now. It's kind of like you're going to see at Talladega after this broadcast. Everybody, we're going to be just all drafting all night. That is a setting in iRacing you have to fix then, Ben. It's something of a button you have set for muted channels and stuff like that. Got about corner sitting here in this line back. Here's Gavin Sanders. Let's ride with him. Yeah, I forgot that took longer. Sounds like out here. Gavin only in 4th gear right now. Speeds over 220 mile an hour in this draft. Kind of burping the throttle a little bit there, and that's more because the dirty air that is going around this car. See Gary and Dakota swapping the lead out again. 3 wide. Look at Alex Van de Sant with a move down there. The Happy Trails Chili Mix mobile. Took him 3 wide there for a quick second. Dakota DeMay up to the front. You see about a 10th separation. You're able to get this draft. You're able to drive right to the bottom and work this draft, and that's what makes this kind of racing fun here, though. But mostly everybody goes single file down the straightaway, getting that toe, and they get down to the corners, and they spread out 2, 3, 4 wide. And this is one of those races where if you can survive the incident out there and have a great pit strategy, you could put yourself in the race. Last week it was Cohen Evans at Homestead that did that and made him the 12th winner in VOR history. And if we get a new winner tonight, it'll be the 13th winner in this league's season history. A little loud still. A.J. Musselman up in here. Shane Coogan. Sadiq there in that Taco Bell machine. And on 23 of the 27 starters in this race on the lead lap as of right now. Isaac Morris up to the third position, started in the fifth spot. Biggest mover so far as Robert Sadler's on pit road, and he's got the cone with him. Unscheduled pit stop for the outside pole sitter. There goes the cone. Hey, it lands on its feet. Look at that. Nice move. Looks like tires and fuel for the 6 car. Not sure if that's a scheduled pit stop. There's Dakota leading. 22 laps in the book already. Others 150. Adler's going to come out a lap down in the 24th position when it's all said and done. All this 2 and 3 wide action. Right on board with Van de Sant, the winner from last season here, season 3. And if you're in this race, you can win it. Oh, record right in front of Alex. Somebody hard in the wall. It is Julian Altena. Or Altena. Sorry, Julian. Altena's in the wall. And that car is destroyed for a second straight week. Julian Altena is in trouble. Also, Samo Lamprett's involved, and Cohen Evans, last week's winner, has damage. So the winner from last week damaged in a lap 25 accident. That just shows you can be on top of the world one week and not so much in the second week. Let's watch the replay. VOR car. Samo just going for looks like a lazy spin. Let's watch it. Let's go up to Julian here. Julian, maybe some contact here with that yellow, and Forsyth going to get a quick marker. There's Cohen getting the wall. That car gets damaged. A lot of cars actually involved in this wreck. Oh, Oscar Fredrickson's that 12 car right there. So Oscar's involved. I'm trying to see who that white and blue car is right there. I cannot tell who that car is. I'm still learning names and stuff like that out here. So, but that's what brings out the third caution of this race. So Matt Houston leads as we do have pit stops. Race off pit road, going to go to Dakota. Gavin Sanders going to come out second. There's Sadiq, Isaac Morris. All these cars going to come out and bring them back to the grid. That's actually Morris that came out second here at lap 25. So just a fifth of the distance in. And unfortunately for Julian, he's only completed 24 laps this season in 2 wrecks. Let's see if Cohen is done. He might end up being done tonight. And unfortunate for the winner of last week's Homestead race. But caution number 3 out here in the St. Jude, Michigan 300. Oh, that's what I did wrong. I'm going to fix the stoplight issue right now. You see more cars getting fixed up. More of the, looks like some lead lap cars actually on pit road here. So again, caution out for the third time this evening here at lap number 25 for those keeping track at home. We should get the green flag this time by, and we will here at lap number 28 as we'll go back racing with Dakota DeMay up front with Gary Godso, Isaac Morris, Sadiq Coogan, Sanders, Musselman, Forsythe, Fredrickson, Kristen Nelson, your top 10. And Julian back on pit road as, I don't know what's going on there. He pulls his car off the track. They must have had a reset in this race. As up here for second, Isaac Morris to the bottom. The champion from last season takes P2 away, and now is going to make a run up here on Dakota. As the VOR team looking pretty solid this evening. Cohen Evans has just left pit road. At least that's what it's telling me. There's a 37 rolling out on pit road. He will be some 5 laps down now as they cross the line, and Isaac Morris goes to the front. I mentioned earlier, lap times around here at about 35 seconds. There's Cohen coming off pit road, so he'll rejoin his pack. Unfortunately, he will not be winning this race. And we got a big wreck, I believe. No, maybe not. Or are people blinking out or something here? Apparently we got people blinking out or something going on. But we lost Gary Godso, we've lost Fredrickson, we lost Vigera. Something is going on. Julian, I'm not even in Discord right now. To be honest with you, I don't think I am. Yeah, so we lost some cars here. Something is going on. And now caution is out for the third time. And it's for Cohen Evans. Some weird stuff kind of going on here. And caution will come out. I want to jump into... Did we have people fall out? No, I don't see anybody falling out yet, so something is going on. But anyways, let's see what happens to Cohen. So Cohen spins, and that brings out the caution, just a self-spin on his part. So apparently they are blinking out or something. I don't know what's going on here. So apparently some issues going on with some of these drivers, but it appears that Gary Godso, Oscar Fredrickson, and Jose Miguel Phillips Viguera have all fallen out of the session, unfortunately. So they're going to be listed as out right now on the screen, and we'll see if they come back in. So tough situation here going on. I'm going to jump into Discord now. Now I've got all my errors fixed, I think. So everybody's having issues tonight. So we got people dropping out of the race. We got my issues going on. What other issues are going to happen tonight? We'll have to see, and hopefully none. Let's hope we have a good rest of the race as we complete lap number 33, just about a fifth of the way, actually a little past a fifth of the way in to this St. Jude, Michigan 300. And again, if you're just joining us last week, it was Cohen Evans, who unfortunately is going to be out of this race tonight, that is behind the wall with more issues, unfortunately, on his
end. Okay, we're going to extend the yellow to allow the people to join back in.
That's Julian Altena, who's joined us here. Julian, been kind of a wild start so far, and you have completed all of 25 laps this season, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
honestly,
it is what it is.
I'm really frustrated with how today's race went. At least I lasted longer than last week, but yeah, I was kind of working my way back up to the front a little bit to kind of get out of the chaos, because I was in the midfield and I didn't want to be there or in the back, so I thought, let's go to the front. And got to the front, and then everybody, I guess, had some frame rate issues in VR as well, because I had some myself. And people were lifting off and even braking at times, and it was really hard to judge, because we have 28 cars in the race here tonight. And
so
in VR,
anytime somebody has a game crash,
since
are we going to throw a caution for
something
them?
has gone wrong,
Like,
so with more than 26 cars or something, you have a really low FPS. And,
maybe we should get rid of the guy that caused them the issue.
That little incident there, so it's a massive shame. I completed 25 laps out of what, 217?
No, it's like it's because there's a massive people
like
that disconnected.
Yeah.
It's like what happened with Comcast.
That's all I can say.
That last time, you know, it's.
Yeah, apparently we got issues going on over in the race right now with people dropping out. A little bit of the chat just went over the air as we were listening to them talk about apparently a lot of drivers falling through at one time. So I'm not sure if it's another issue like they had a few weeks ago on iRacing or what's going on, but it's a tough situation now of what's going on. So it's like I was just talking about on the stream. It's like everybody's having issues tonight. So let's hope that the race fixes itself and we have a good race at least.
Yeah, I am still a little bit confused about that too, because I was in this waiting room when Gary came into it. He was not very happy, let's keep it that way.
Understood.
Yeah, so it must have happened when I left the session myself, because I was getting out of VR to getting ready to join you, because there's not much to really do when you're out of the race. So that's what I did, and it must have happened then. So
well, I'm seeing right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see 9 spots right now you can gain if you got back in. Those are points where I'm from.
I know. My car is completely messed up. My car is bent 100 degrees to the left. With the steering, is undrivable really at a decent speed.
So according to Cohen right now over in chat, he just said 5 drivers just got disconnected at once during that caution.
Yeah, then it sounds a lot like an iRacing issue.
Yeah, that's definitely not cool, unfortunately for them. Yeah. But we're about to go back to racing. I hate seeing stuff like that, you know. But yeah, Dakota DeMay, Isaac Moore, Shane Coogan, Nicholas Sadiq, and Gavin Sanders, your top 5 at the completion of lap 35. So as you see, I'm going to have my own homework project tomorrow. Basically, I had everything that I use for the broadcast was in the downloaded folder. Basically, I downloaded it and I just keep it there. Well, I decided before this broadcast, I'm like, you know what, I'll make an iRacing folder and put it on my desktop and just move everything to that so I can just use it to make all the edits and things. And doing that apparently did something to reset my whole entire ticker and stuff, so I had to go back to the generic one that they gave me and reset the program, and yeah, here we are. So thankfully I was able to get this on the air for you guys.
That's all that matters, right?
Right. I wanted to get this on, so we'll work with the basics and I'll go to work tomorrow. But anyways, Dakota DeMay gets him back to the green flag here. A couple of VOR cars there right behind him with Isaac Morris. You got Shane Coogan, who's looked pretty good on these ovals tonight. He's in the race-verse car himself, but Isaac going to go to the lead, and caution is right back out. And
that's Gary.
The 12.
Front to the inside.
Oscar Fredrickson's got both wheels destroyed now. Gary Godso's involved in the 3. So
I have to say, from a team principal kind of standpoint, this hurts to see for my own guys. But just a chaotic start to this St. Jude 300.
Yeah, not the best of starts, unfortunately. Let's see what happens here. Gary's just kind of riding, unfortunately, a couple laps down from that issue that took place. And somebody goes spinning, and Gary, I think, hits the brakes and goes to the inside wall himself. Oscar spun with another car. I'm trying to see who that other car is over there. It was a yellow car. Was it Samo? It might have been Samo Lampret. Let's see. It was Samo, actually, to be exact.
And I just want to say as well, by the way, at Michigan, at this track specifically, when a yellow comes out, or when you try to avoid something, this track is really low on grip. So if you lift off or stamp the brakes even a little bit, the car can just step out under you, and it just steps out away from you, and you get sent around. So very low grip surface here at Michigan.
Well, I think that's more of a seam issue. Also, you got the kind of like I was talking about Homestead last week. You had all these little seams that separate the track. If you get your tires on those, it can bring your car around. It will upset the grip on the car, and that's something that is going to have to be kept track of, because obviously if it upsets your car and spins you around, it could bring out a caution. You see Alex Van de Sant's on pit road, also Alagio's on pit road, Joe Harleman. These guys on pit road as we have our, what's this, the 5th caution? Usually I'm able to keep track, but I'm not able to keep track tonight. So 5th caution, I believe, is out right now in this broadcast, in this race. Fuel mileage-wise, Julian, how are we looking when it comes to strategy in this race? Obviously, with the draft, it's going to play a pretty good deal here. Are we looking at some 40 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel, or a little less?
I would say yes. In the clean air, you can go about 36 laps. But when you're in the draft, following the massive pack ahead, because this has been a real pack race. Today, if you're following the pack ahead, you can really go 45 laps even. You can really save a lot of fuel by just sitting there in the draft. And even if fuel map 5 is what I've been hearing on our team Discord. So that's something that these drivers are going to be keeping in the back of their minds, and probably go longer into the stint and maybe catch a lucky yellow.
Should get the 1 to go mark, I believe, this time by. We'll go back racing with 110 laps to go in this 300-mile St. Jude, Michigan 300. Again, appreciate everybody watching us here on Captain TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that follow button. Went over 300 followers as of yesterday, or subscribers. Up to, 309 already. So appreciate everybody who's joined us in this first year of Captain TV that's been around. And just know we are really going to be picking up the business coming up here. Starting this week, actually, as we have all but 2 nights we'll be broadcasting this week, and then the following week all 7 nights we'll be broadcasting. So I'm ready to roll, having a good old time doing this, and as long as I can sleep well at night, I have fun doing this. Last night was one of those nights I didn't sleep well, but
was it all because of the excitement for us?
It is. It is. Actually, I am excited doing Saturday nights, because this series is a lot of fun to be a part of. also got the stock car series that's afterwards with USRC, but the other real reason is I got a tooth that's probably going to be looked at here come later on this week. Had to take some ibuprofen, take care of that issue, and go on from there. So, but that's a whole nother deal. It's enough about me. Isaac Morris going to bring him back to the green flag with DeMay, Coogan, Sudik, Gavin Sanders, and AJ Musselman, who's a fast little oval driver in that green number 54 car, going to bring him back to the green. And Dakota gets a really good start on Isaac. Jumps to the bottom as he gets across the line. And he should take the lead here as they get up to speed. That there is the downfall of starting really late on a restart. We got one slow car down the back straightaway. It's Gary Gonzo who's off the pace.
Sudi going to P3 as well now into turn 3, by the way.
Yep, Sudi.
He's on the inside right here of Dakota, so he's going to have a little loop as well. Isaac got back into the lead, by the way, as well. So Isaac's going to lead lap 40 of this race. And Dakota's going to have a look again on the outside. And you see Gavin Sanders coming into the picture here. Thought he was going to make a move for third. You see that pink car back there. That is Krista Nelson looking for the second straight podium finish after last week at Homestead. So Krista looking pretty good on the ovals. As Dakota goes back to the front here. This is what we're going to see, a whole bunch of racing. Unfortunately, I have no way of counting passes officially and stuff like that until iRacing tells us later, but I'm guessing we're already over 10 lead changes tonight. We're well over that already, I can tell you that much. As the top two is still running side by side here across the start-finish straight. Everybody else is kind of moving to the high line, and that's really the dominant line you want to be here. It's the longest distance you can drive, so you can keep the throttle on it. And really get a lot of momentum onto the backstretch, as Isaac is on the outside now, Dakota on the inside, and there is a left car on the inside as well.
And plus the turbulent air. Let's talk about that a little bit. How much are you feeling out there? I mean, we were on board with a couple cars earlier. It seemed like there's not much, there's turbulent air out there, but it's not affecting the car much at all.
I disagree with that. I was feeling it pretty badly when I was, I believe, the 8 or 10 car in line. It was, honestly, to call it was disgusting to be in the dirty air there. You had to lift off so much, and I believe that's why everybody was braking as well, because they just had to slow down. Like, the draft is so big, and you can't really go anywhere in a pack like this, so you really have to either move left or right, but if there's a car there, you can't really go there, so you have to lift off or brake. And that's what's been catching a lot of these drivers out, including myself, when I believe I hit Muslim in a period there, because I didn't expect him to brake that hard. But anyways, we are watching the top 5 now.
And Kristen Nelson.
1 and 2 again.
With Kristen Nelson right now, we're on board. Maybe if it helps if I share my screen with you, let's do that to let you see what I'm seeing. Basically on the screen, there you go. And you see Nelson up to 5th gear down the back straightaway, just kind of running this bottom line right now. Nicholas Sudik up to the 4th position, or 5th position right behind him.
And P3 to P6 is really closely together now.
As Dakota and Isaac continue to play swap the leader. That might be more of a draft move, but either way, it looks like a restart all over again. Right here in the front, side by side, 3 rows deep. Craig Forsyth is back there like, can y'all figure this out, please? Down into turn 3 and 4. This track, again, used to host the Michigan 500 back in the day, back in the kart series. Classic 500-mile race that was always run, and then, of course, the rival US 500 that, of course, is well documented. The race that rivaled the Indianapolis 500 after the IRL kart split. And, of course, if you read about that race, you'll read about the green flag. Oh, somebody got the wall back there mid-pack. That's back near Matt Houston. Actually, I'm trying to see who it was. There's this red and black car right. Might be a lap car there, but that red and black car, I can't tell who it is from here. It's a VOR car. Was it? It wasn't Isaac.
Must have been Gary then.
There's a red and black VOR car. Anyways, we'll keep an eye on that. But basically, that race was the race where everybody wrecked coming to the green flag of the race. And that kind of was like the the end of that. Kristen Nelson going to 2nd. So the 80 or the 14 not playing around tonight. Something about a 14 on a super speedway and an IndyCar. It looks pretty good. So we've got 12 cars right now in this lead pack. And if you're sitting back here, Julian, back here with where Alex Van de Sand, Matt Houston, Austin Saar is not really in this pack. He's on his own back there. You're back in this pack. What are you thinking and what are you trying to do at this moment? Is it trying to work your way to the front? Is it more just being patient, trying to save your car a little bit so that you can be at the end?
Yeah, trying to find a spot to be in, just a comfortable spot where nobody's really around you that as much as you're seeing at the front, for example, with a lot of drivers being within half a second of each other. Just being in a comfortable space, trying to get to at least, I believe, 130 is a fair point of reach in the race and then go for it. Really, at this point, you just want to keep your car clean and not lose the lead lap. More importantly, the draft as well. So that's really what these drivers are going to try to keep doing to stay on the lead lap and within the draft.
As Krista goes to the front, so another lead change, up 18 spots from the 19th position. The first is Krista Nelson, and now Morris going to go back to the high side here. Working that draft and trying to get that run. Now the bottom lane below that seam is actually a lower bank than the actual 18 degrees in the corners. Not sure why Michigan did that. I don't know the answer, but I do know it's a lower banking. So that's why you're seeing these cars sit up about one groove. I say that as Isaac goes all the way to the bottom to try to keep their car with the momentum on the banking.
And Kristen Nelson, she knows how to move to the front. Last week at Homestead, she moved from 27th at the green flag on lap 1 to 3rd at the checkered flag on lap 167. So she knows how to get to the front and get a good result in the back. So she's one to keep an eye on in this race for sure as well.
And Sunique here leading this, or I should say running in the middle of this pack right now. Nick in the 87 car, that Taco Bell car. Running here in the 6th position, up one spot from the start. And you see that side-by-side battle still going on. But Isaac looks like from this view, at least we're on board with Nick gonna take the lead. Not sure. Actually, no, it looks like Chris is gonna get it back. So, as you see, the fighting going on everywhere around here.
Hey, my car's turning straight again. I can drive some laps.
Hey, there you go. So, all right, well, we'll let you go race. So, go hang out in the waiting room, go drive some laps, and gain some positions, and do whatever you want to do after that.
I can multitask, probably.
He's going to call the race from his car. This is a new experience. There's Julian in turn 2. Don't wreck. If you wreck, you realize I got a lawsuit coming my way.
I'm trying to secure the reputation of my own league, man. I'm trying.
Car off the pace there in the high lane. Trying to see who that is up there. It's the 18 of Thomas Geisler who's back on track as these two continue to fight for who wants to lead. Isaac Morris and Kristen Nelson. Dakota DeMay and Shane Coogan there, 3rd and 4th. It's Xavier Sudi and Forsyth, your top 7 right there. As we throw up the old school cam, haven't done this one all night. On board with Craig Forsyth in the player's car. Saw a tweet that reminded me how great the late Greg Moore was. IndyCar racing. It showed a race, I forget what track it was on the tweet, but he was 2 miles an hour faster than the whole entire field in qualifying at that racetrack. It might have been Michigan to be exact, but unfortunately Greg lost way too soon in one of the worst crashes I've ever seen. As caution is out, we got trouble on the track.
Roberts in that?
It is Roberts, looks like Roberts in it. You mentioned the 6 of Robert Sadler's got a ripped off nose. And looks like he might be the only car involved in this.
Might have just lost the back end out of turn 2. There is a seam there and a bump as well that can really upset the car.
We'll go back and roll that beautiful bean footage and see what happens. It goes down to the middle groove. Oh, no, somebody gets the wall and takes him out there. There's that red and black car again, who I don't know who it is. We're going to have to figure out who that red and black car is, but unfortunately got into Sadler. We'll see it one more time.
Might have been Austin Sayre. Or Sar. Sorry.
No, it's a VOR car. It's Estrada is who it is.
Those guys are teammates. You're probably not going to be too happy about that then.
Yeah, Estrada got the wall and kind of goes across the nose. And unfortunately, I'm still, fans, please forgive me, as I'm still learning the names of most people, especially the newcomers in the league. It's kind of hard to not see numbers on Indy cars compared to stock cars. So, but we go from there. We're going to have green pit stops here. Now, that is one thing I am going to be able to work and show you guys is the pit stops. Down there at the bottom. All the cars on pit road. There's some telemetry stuff I could still show you that's still basic from when I use it, but there's still plenty that I don't use. As Alex Van de Sande stays out, Matt Houston has stayed out. And just like that, Nelson 8.8 out of the stall. There we go, rolling out. All right, so caution number 6 here at lap number 57. And I am going to take advantage, and I am going to step away for just a quick, I'm not even going anywhere on the screen, I'm just going to step away for a quick second to get something to drink because I didn't get a chance to do that. So I'll be right back. Stick around. The stream's still running. Everything's good. I'll be 2 seconds.
So there's about 87 laps to go. 84 laps, sorry. You can stretch this on the fuel tank. If you save a lot of fuel in the draft, you can make it on one more stop. Although, personally, I do believe there will be at least 2 more yellows in this race. But it is possible to do it on one stop from here, if you really save a lot of fuel in the draft, in the traffic as well. But it will be a strategy for the cars further back in the pack. So for the leaders, it will be a bit more difficult.
All right, look at Julian taking care of business for me. What a guy. What a guy. So
I was just talking some strategy.
Nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, basically, long story short, and I'm not trying to beat a dead bush here or make excuses with what happened earlier tonight. So I get on the computer. I usually try to set up at an hour before. I'll get everything ready to go. And at 7 o'clock is when everything took place. And I'm like, uh-oh. So everything's going on. I had dinner in the oven. I was going to eat, get everything set up, ready to go. Dinner's still in the oven right now, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get something to drink at least while I have a quick minute under caution, because I didn't get a chance to do that because I wanted to, again, get everything on the air for everybody tonight. So, yeah, we're good. I'm good now.
The most important thing is that you're here.
You know what? I'm just happy to be here because, you know what? It's so much fun being in front of, I was talking about this, I forget which race it was. It's like to be in front of all these cool racers. Everybody I'm around feels like family. It's like everybody, I can joke around with them, I can talk to them, have a good old time. And, you know, all the viewers who watch each and every league that I broadcast for, they're such a good time. And when you get to see even some leagues that kind of work with each other and stuff and racing and each other's stuff and things, it's like so cool to see, and that part makes me smile because it's like I get to know everybody like family. And that's when I yell at Julian off the air, but you guys don't know that. Anyways, Alex Van de Sande leads him to the green. Matt Houston, Isaac Morris, the lap car of, I think it was Oscar Fredrickson down there. He is a few laps down right now. As a matter of fact, some 9 laps down in this race. Is last season's winner, Alex Van de Sande, going to lead him to the green. Matter of fact, 3 wide back here off turn 2. Fredrickson was trying to get out of the way of the race first car there of Sudik, who is underneath the 27 of Craig Forsyth for position. I'm sorry, that wasn't Sudik, that's Shane Coogan. My apologies to both.
A lot of guys bunched up in the back of the pack, by the way, and don't restart. I actually got a black flag on that, but
well,
not
Julian's
too
black
important.
flagged, apparently. That's why you can see him on pit road down in the bottom left corner of the screen. But yeah, a lot of these cars, all but the top two, pitted at lap 56. And of course, last week when we saw a pit strategy like this happen, the cars who stayed out ended up not winning the race. So this could be very interesting to see what happens when this is all said and done. But Alex and Matt Houston right now swamping the lead with each other, and you got Isaac Morris. He's the first one to pit at lap 56. So let's put Julian's math to work here. If you go 45 laps on a tank of fuel from the lap 56, 56 and 45 gets you to lap 1. Is it 101 or 101? That's 101. And then from there, actually it is 111, I apologize. And then from there, you go 45 laps from 111, you get to lap 146. So if you save a little fuel, it's possible.
it is possible, yes, to save some fuel in the draft, like I mentioned earlier. Just want to correct myself, by the way, there is 90 laps to go from the green flag, at least it was.
Right, so well, that would be 45 and 45 if you saved enough under caution.
Yes.
So basically, you want to sit back here in this pack. You do not want to be out where Matt Houston is right now. Even Van de Sant probably is in trouble. You want to be maybe back here with Shane Coogan, Craig Forsyth, Gavin Sanders, the cars that are drafting off of 8 or 9 other cars in front of them. So it's almost like you want to go full throttle and kind of just ride in the wind. Obviously, put your fuel mixture to what, 4 or 5 probably?
Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to do, just save the fuel and try to save as much as possible, go as long as possible as well, and pick up the pieces at the end.
So basically the lap number will be 115 or 105. If you get to 105, at that point you'll be able to make it the distance. If you can't make it to 105, well then you're going to be saving a lot of fuel. It's going to be difficult. But then there's also that yellow hanky that could come flying again. And if that thing comes flying again, then everything I just talked about in the last 2.5 minutes just got wasted.
That's one way of putting it.
I mean, it's just fact. I mean, I try to speak facts here. I don't sugarcoat or make things up. As we got a battle for second down here as Isaac Morris and Van de Sant battle it out as Houston leads. And Houston in the checkered number 66 car.
But this the Formula Indy Series sponsor car,
Yes.
by the way, it's Matt owns and runs with Dakota as well, as Tony Patty, who is already out of the race, unfortunately, as well. So yeah, that's some interesting project started by them.
Yeah, it's basically what they're doing is they're going to run Indy cars on Formula 1, or Formula 1, as I like to call it, and IndyCar circuits. As here comes Krista back up to the front. I know their first, I actually ran in one of their practice races a couple weeks ago at Sebring. I did that actually to learn a little bit about road course racing, and Julian actually gave you some great advice. If you go looking through the files of Captain TV, you'll actually see a Watkins Glen race from yesterday that my legs are still paying for after that race. I think I had my throttle pretty much through the floor of this house. I see case 7 out of the race. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who that is, but had a crash. So I'm guessing it's Samuel maybe. Could be wrong, but had a crash, took a shower, and now we'll probably watch the stream. So welcome into the stream. Sorry that you wrecked.
It is quite warm in Michigan right now, so I think he took a shower and he's back in the paddock now.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's got everything in Celsius still on the stream, so I have no clue how hot it really is in Michigan right now. As we see Michael Schoonert is on pit road. Unscheduled pit stop for this Texaco silver car. A couple of his Buzz Lightyear pit crew members down there kind of having a chat. Not sure what's going on. That's what it looks like. They're wearing suits that look like Buzz Lightyear. So we've got a little bit of a 4-car draft here now, becoming 7 cars here at the turn number 3. Again, one of 3 Triple Crown races that we will hold. This is Michigan, of course, Indianapolis later on in the season. That'll be a 300-miler. And then the Pocono Raceway, correct me, that's a 300-miler also.
Yes, they're all 300 miles of length. The Indy and Pocono races are 120 laps. Because Michigan is a slightly shorter track than 2 miles. Pocono Indy being 2.5 miles, by the way, in track length. So that's why this race is slightly longer in lap count, because the track is just a little bit shorter.
Now, believe it or not, this track is actually, depending on what car you drive, 2 miles or actually a little less than 2 miles. And here's how I explain that. NASCAR has their way of measuring a track. IndyCar has their way of measuring a track. And what I mean by that is Texas Motor Speedway, just for an example. NASCAR actually goes off the middle of the track. And when I mean the middle, I mean the middle groove. You go down the middle of the track all the way around. Texas is 1.5 miles. Michigan's 2 miles. If you look closely, when IndyCar runs Texas Motor Speedway, it's like 1.486 miles. Because they use the bottom lane of the track. So Michigan really in an IndyCar is probably the 1.98 something. You learn something every time. I got him thinking now while he's in the car. So Isaac Morris, they're battling for the lead. As you see, Nicholas Sadiq there has moved up to the 4th position. As Van de Sant and Houston continue to play swap the lead with each other. Unfortunately, the Mario Kart strategy that you see them working on each other does not work in iRacing, where you can swap and continue going faster and save fuel at the same time. So here we are, 3 laps from the halfway mark. Pack kind of getting spread out now, as some cars trying to save fuel, maybe running a little bit of a different mixture. And then other cars kind of going full tilt, maybe knowing that they won't make it to the finish. And we'll go ahead and make that second pit stop. So while you're in the car there, out there running, Julian, let me put this strategy in your ear. So if you're going to run for a 2-stopper here to get to the finish, knowing you're not going to get to lap 150 on the tank, do you split that second stint in half and just go, you go 45 and then go, say, 22 or 23 laps in that second stint and split it? Or do you go as far as you can and then just do a short split and go to the finish?
Yeah, go as far as you can, hopefully catch a yellow, and then pit on that for a little splash of fuel. Because then you're going to lose way less than when you pit, for example, when you split the strategy in half and you're going to have to pit. Because when you pit around this track, you're just about going to lose a full lap here. We saw at Homestead last week, it was about 1.5 to 2 laps you would lose. Here it's about 1 lap you're going to lose.
Oh, caution is out. Throw everything I just said out the window. Like I said, I just wasted 2.5 minutes of talking about strategy. As I believe the caution is for Jonathan Duncan, maybe? I don't see anyone spun over on the map. So ironically, we have a Buzz Lightyear pit crew, and Jonathan Duncan has the Woody from Toy Story pit crew. But let's see what the caution is for.
Oh.
It was not for Jonathan. He is actually still on pit road. Somebody got a lot of smoke over here in turn 2. That is, oh, it's Schunert is who that is. It was the text. Julian, did you just crash?
No, my SDK gaming app got the overlay on the screen and I can't see anything right now. It's just black screen with the SDK watermark on it.
I'm not going to say anything, but I won't mention which app I use. But anywho, caution is out. Let's see what happens. Oh, Shooter gets loose underneath another car. And did Dakota get him? I think Dakota clipped him. Oh, no, but the tire popped back into place, so he's okay. And I don't want to pick on Julian, but let's see what happens. He goes to slow down. There's the pace car, and
like I said, I couldn't see anything. So
he couldn't see anything, so he's just kind of riding down the back straightaway here. Oh, and he just spin. Nice job stopping at least on his end. So no harm, no foul. All right, so more cars on pit road here. All the leaders are in. Couple cars staying out. This will easily now make this a one-stop strategy to the finish. Race off pit road, getting tight. And see who they give that to. I think they're going to give that to Isaac. So Christian Alesio and Joe Harleman going to stay out here. Not going to say I necessarily agree with that decision, but they know what they're doing. I don't. So Alesio going to lead his first laps of the season. As I mentioned last week, we'll give him a little plug again. Christian Alesio, the author of that book, Faster and Faster. The Faster and Faster. You can get that on Amazon. That is what I believe is on his car. But it's a children's book about racing. So I think that's a book I might be purchasing my daughter soon. My wife doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to be purchasing it for my daughter soon. And then when I'm broadcasting from outside, you'll know why. And again, this time of the year, I'm actually okay with it. And Christian is playing a game. I don't know what I want to do. If he's coming to pit road or not, he's almost stopped. And finally turns back onto the track and stays out. But Joe Harleman going to come to pit road. So Christian pretty much, I think, just made his bed. I know parts of, I don't know how it is over where you are, but parts of America, we're at that time of the year where you start the morning off with the heat. You get to the afternoon and the air conditioner's on, and you go to bed with the heat back on.
I don't really have the same over here, but...
I mean, I'm up in the mountains here, too, where I'm at, so it's like I woke up this morning, it was 34 degrees, which, I mean, it's not terribly cold, but I like it comfortable, so I had the heat on. Got up to like 65, so I turned the AC on because I had it off and air didn't circulate too much in here today. And then when I go back to bed tonight, I'll probably crank the heat back up because I think there's a frost advisory out. So,
is that 34 Celsius or Fahrenheit?
That's Fahrenheit. So we're looking at close to 0 degrees Celsius at night. Because 32 here Fahrenheit is 0 Celsius.
Sleeping at 34 Fahrenheit is pretty nice then.
It's a little chilly. You might want your jacket and gloves. I mean, how is it when it's 2 degrees Celsius where you are?
That's pretty nice, actually.
Pretty nice.
In cold temperatures, yeah. I mean, when I got the blanket
okay, with a blanket, yeah. You look like Ralphie from the movie Christmas Story. You probably never heard of that movie. But anyways, green flag's going to come out. Alesio getting the... Well, he's going to check everybody up.
That's really
That
dangerous.
guy really got bad. I think everybody's going to be okay, though, but... That was really bad.
Yeah, that was not good at all.
Van de Sant's going to get the lead. Everybody avoids calamity there. But that's going to create 3 wide here down the back straightaway. Matt Houston on the bottom. Gavin Sanders middle. Isaac Morse top. I wonder if Christian wondered if he was going to jump to start maybe, which in that case he maybe should have moved to the bottom. But that's one of those instinct type of moves, and thankfully it just, nobody got involved and everything worked out okay for the most part. Now, I don't have chat on, so I'm pretty sure everybody was like, hey, what was that
about? Knowing these guys, they're not going to be too happy about this one. And I hate to say, but this will probably be reviewed afterwards. These guys are still going at it side by side for the race lead right now.
And here comes Alesio to pit road.
Yep, and he might have gotten a black flag for passing the pace car before the green lights came on.
Which could be why he stopped, pretty much. So Alesio on pit road. We'll see if he maybe got penalized or something. But we're just past the halfway mark here. Is 80 laps, 160 miles down to the 300 in the St. Jude 300 here at the Michigan Speedway. So coming up next week in the series, we got another fun race. As all the races are fun, just put it out there the way it is, but we're going to the Barber Motorsports Park, or as some call it, the Masters of Racing. If you're a golf fan, you know what the Masters is. Some call it probably one of the more beautiful scenes of all of racing, the Barber Motorsports Park. Yes, there is a spider in the middle of the track, but at least there's, I mean, the grass, they talk about the track being one of the nicer tracks to race in and be a part of in all of iRacing and racing in general.
It's a spider statue, by the way. Just
yeah, but still, if you're an arachnophobe, you don't want to be around that.
No, probably not. But anyways, Barber is the next race, yes, in 2 weeks. It's going to be the first road course of the season. You've got a good setup for that.
Caution out. Caution for the 69, it looks like, is spun. Michael Schoenert, again, having issues. Let's see what happens. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage again. Schoenert having issues again. This time coming off the high groove, goes spinning.
He was lucky to get away with that one.
That's 2 he's gotten away with. See, this one maybe a little... Oh, you know what? He got loose off the bottom there. Because he had to go catch the car and then spun it to the bottom. Simple Danny Sullivan 360 and moves on.
Well, all that's left for him to do is win the race now. Win.
Well, if this was 1985, absolutely. But this is, I want to say, close to the 10th caution of this race here at lap 83. Sean Peachin checking in from Talladega. That's where we're running broadcasting the next race from. He's watching the Michigan race here. He was very impressed with the series last week. He's one that, if I could find a way to talk him into coming over here and running IndyCar, he would probably. Throwing it out there to him while you're listening. AJ Musselman coming to Victory Lane, to Pit Road with Dakota DeMay, Jose Miguel Phillips Viguera.
And I just want to point something out on the strategy as well, by the way. You see these 2 cars pitting right now. Mm-hmm. If there's one more yellow a little bit later on at around lap 100, I would assume. If you pit then you could make it to the end with some fuel saving.
Hey,
so,
not to cut you off, Julian, but viewers, we have a situation here, and I think it's something we have all seen before, and this happened recently in another series. I believe we have a bathroom break by the 14 right now, as he pulled way out in front of the pace car and is sitting over in turn 3.
I'm sorry, this is funny.
Well, in another league I broadcast for and help run admin, there weren't a lot of happy people about it.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
But anywho, yeah, you mentioned going back, going the distance on strategy. Yeah, so right now you got a little less than 70 laps to go, so it's easily a one-stopper now to get to the finish of this race. So, and everybody has pitted now.
Saving, of course.
Right.
With the draft we've been talking about in the earlier moments in this race, if you are in the pack, or behind the pack I should say, in the draft, you can save a lot of fuel. In fuel map 5 is when you can save the most fuel and still run a reasonable speed. So that's what these drafts are going to be trying to do. And if there's a yellow that's a little bit later on, in maybe 10 or 15 laps, if they pit then again, then you could make it. So yeah, you could really outsmart the people at the front and perhaps get a race win. Of course, we saw Cohen last week at Homestead win on an economy run as well. So it is very much possible to get a group result and perhaps the race win as well.
And just looking at everybody right now, everybody has pitted at lap 75 or later. Musselman and DeMay, they just pitted here at 83. So in order, if they were to try to do this on full fuel, which I don't think is possible, you're looking at some 65 laps. So I highly doubt you can go 130 miles, 140 miles on a tank of fuel.
Yeah, that's not possible.
So Houston leads this thing with Isaac Morris as they'll come back to the green flag. Alex Van Desant, Shane Coogan, and Gavin Sanders, your top 5. Kristen Nelson with an empty bladder in the 8th position.
It's all about the weight reduction, right?
Oh, that's a fair point. That could be a 1/10 of a pound right there in an IndyCar, and all IndyCars have to weigh a certain amount, correct? Just saying.
So might be to keep her running flat out all the way around like she did last week at Homestead, running the bottom line as long as she did.
Yeah, I was impressed by that. Anyways, pace car is going to pull off. And Houston going to bring them back to the green flag. 19 viewers. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Christian Alejo, third car in line, not on the lead lap, as we had a lot smoother restart this time. We got 13 cars on the lead lap.
Cool into the bottom line there. And he's going to push up a little bit and has to lift off. And Alex also backs out of it wisely.
As Isaac going to go for the lead here on the bottom. Again, that is one thing I've actually messaged SDK Gaming about, who's the app I use also. I've actually reached out to him about, hey, see if you could get laps led on the telemetry box so that we can see it. I think that would be a really cool deal to have.
Very true. These drivers again going at it hard, and just want to mention as well, Isaac Morris last season drove for Team Race First, Matt's team. He has now moved to the 5150 performance team of Gary Gotzo. Gotzo, of course, the team manager of that team, but he is driving on my team for Team VOR. So Isaac is now basically with us, and he's moved teams in the off-season. And I guess it will be a bit of familiar territory for him. Of course, he knows how to race Matt, and Matt knows how to race Isaac, because they've been racing each other over the course of last season as well.
Well, I think a lot of these guys know how to race each other. When you look at some of these names, they all race in this league and other leagues, and so they're used to it. They got familiarity with each other, and I think that helps a lot, no matter what, if it's team or what the situation is. So I think that creates a great thing in this series, and it creates the great racing you're seeing here as you look side by side for third with Alex and Shane Coogan. You know, not to mention, you mentioned series. Your Formula One series just wrapped up this past week, and you're going to be doing some recruiting for that series. If you got a quick second, talk a little bit about that, when we'll see races there, what days and stuff like that. So for people who are interested in running a Formula One car out on road courses, how they can do that.
Yeah, so we've got the Formula One Grand Prix Championship, as it's officially called. We have that on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern US time. So that's the day before the IndyCar series, of course. Next season we are going to be running the 2009 Williams FW31. The schedule is going to be announced in the next couple of days, but we will have around 8 to 10 tracks on the schedule there. So a similar season length to the IndyCar series. Of course, the F1 series is going to be on road courses. Don't think I really needed to clarify that, but just in case, there you go.
Wait, Formula One don't run ovals?
No, they don't run ovals. They used to back in the 50s.
Breaking
I believe
news.
the Indy 500 was actually part of the F1 World Championship back in the day, but
right.
These days they don't do that anymore, but the racing there is phenomenal as well. Not quite as good as you're seeing here tonight on the Oval of Michigan. This is a giant pack race right now. Completely different track type, of course. I'm just joking about that. But yeah, if you're interested in an F1 league on iRacing, then go to iRacing.com. There is a Discord link for the F1 Discord, as well as the IndyCar Discord, by the way, to join the grid with these guys as well.
There you go. Drift has joined us, and Drift is typing one-word sentences over in chat right now. Thanks, Drift. Appreciate you. As Isaac Morse goes back to the lead. Houston there in second. Shane Coogan, Forsyth, Van de Sant. You're looking at pretty much every car on the lead lap is in this pack. And if you don't believe me, let's go on over to Dakota and look up ahead. Now, Dakota might be in a little bit of fuel save. Where he's sitting right now on the track, being the last car in this line, well, no, he'd be running 6th gear probably. He's in 5th right now.
Yeah, you really want to try to save fuel, but you can. I was just going to say, you can really see from Dakota's cockpit right here how intense this pack race at Michigan really is. You can see the cars just all over the place on the high banks at Michigan here.
Right.
As these drivers are going to be trying to keep the high line, like I mentioned earlier, that is the line where to be. There is the most momentum there, as well as the most tire saving as well, because you are scrubbing less speed off the car, off the racetrack as well. So that's where you want to be, but these drivers probably getting a little bit impatient now with 65 laps to go. Probably going to be trying to get a move on. But like I said, the Highland is the line where to be. You can run the middle, but it won't be as competitive.
Oh, Dakota, don't go on that seam. That's the transition and banking right there. Don't do that. I did see somebody has a barbecue on pit road going right now. I'd like to know what's on the grill.
Who doesn't like some good steak? I would like some.
Thanks, you made a good steak last week. Yeah, there's the grill over on the inside of the pit road there. You can see the smoke going on.
Must be a McLaren Honda from 2015 then in F1.
Hey, almost 3 wide up here for the lead is Houston. And Morris continue to fight with each other.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Isaac is still down there on the now bottom line actually. Matt is slowly pinching him down further and further to the inside of the track. That's going to be wearing out Isaac's tires quite a bit more than Matt's. Matt is able to keep the momentum going and save the tires, so Isaac is probably going to suffer from tire wear not too soon, not too long after this, and soon you will see him fall back to the back of the track.
So as we get closer to the finish, we see how this racing is going to be as we have a little over 54 laps to go in this race. Do you want to be the leader coming to the final lap, or do you want to be in second or third?
That's a really good question. I'm not sure if I know the answer to that one. I mean, it really depends on where you exactly are entering turns 3 and 4 on the final lap. So I can't really tell you where you want to be, whether you want to be in the lead at the start of the final lap or not. But if you are the car behind, the person turns 3 and 4, and you're a good 2 car lengths behind, you want to be behind so you can draft up behind the leader and then pass him crossing the line. We've seen in season 1 of this race as well, of this IndyCar series. In season 1 at Michigan, we saw a photo finish between Isaac Morris and Oscar Gonzalez. There was literally nothing between the two drivers. 0.000 was between the two. So photo finishes at Michigan very much possible, even with the new tire update, because you are seeing this pack racing all night long so far. And just want to mention as well, some of these drivers haven't been in a pack race ever. Of course, with the new tire model.
That's safe to put it.
Yeah, well, with the new tire model, pack racing hasn't been as common as it used to be with the old tire model a couple of months ago. With the old tire model, you could really lean on the tires and really throw the car into the corners. Now you can't do it as much anymore, but of course on these big tracks like Michigan, with some setup updates like you're seeing tonight, it is slowly but surely becoming more and more possible. And I think the inexperience of some drivers really has shown now with, I believe, just under half the grid still in the race. So it's nothing bad, of course, just an experience factor. But of course, racing like this is only going to build up your experience for the future.
And it can be quite scary, especially when you're going over 220 mile an hour here, going for the lead like these cars are. But you're starting to see them a little bit spread out. Maybe handling starting to come into play just a little bit here. You see some of the cars trying to migrate up to that top groove, trying to save some time. As I mentioned, as we hit the 200 mile mark in this 300 mile St. Jude, Michigan 300. At the Michigan Speedways, you start to see Gavin Sanders coming into play. Kristen Nelson up into the pack. Alex Van Sand. All 13 cars within 1.6 seconds of the lead in this race.
There you go, just in the blink of an eye, they passed by the start-finish line.
Yeah, it's that quick. And you mentioned you look at some of the old IRL races back in the day when they ran predominantly ovals. You go back to what Chicagoland Speedway seemed to always have a finish by inches. Texas Motor Speedway had finishes by inches. That's what we're leading to right here at the Michigan Speedway. So make some time. We're in line for, I'm going to go ahead and say 2 good finishes tonight, because we got this race and then we're going to Talladega after this for our second broadcast tonight. So guess what we're going to have? More pack racing. That is the voice of Julian Altina. I about said Altena again. Altina. That is up here in the booth with us. Julian, once again, unfortunately wrecked out of tonight's race. He's going to finish, as of right now, in the 21st position, which will be his second 20 or worse finish.
Yeah, last week at Homestead I finished, I believe, 28th, because I didn't even get to turn 1 on lap 1 in that race. And this week I managed to do 25 laps until there was a big wreck in turns 1 and 2. that took me out of the race, and then I got my car repaired, did a couple of laps, and gained a few positions, but called it a day to join you in the booth for the rest of the action here tonight.
Doing the math in my head then real quickly, that's 24 here at Michigan, 1 at Homestead. Actually, not even 1. You got 1 corner at Homestead. Right? Because it was turn 1 and 2, lap 1?
Yes. Okay,
so you got 1 corner at Homestead, which I'll grant you the 1 lap. So a mile and a half and 48. So you have run 49.5 miles so far in this season.
Out of 550.
There you go. That's a good way to save some fuel. Anyways, not to pick on you about that.
We called Cohen Evans' race result last weekend in the tournament, but I think I'm doing quite a bit better at that.
See Forsyth, these guys going by the lap car in the number 18 of Thomas Geisler. He was involved in the first caution this evening, clipped the wall on the outside and was spinning off turn 2. And that brought out the first caution as these two continue to battle it out for the lead. As I would expect we have had, and this is only counting the start-finish line, that you can count passes for the lead changes, otherwise known as. And of course you account for caution laps and stuff. I'm guessing somewhere from 30 to 40 in that range right now, as they're almost 3 wide up here for the lead now. As up comes the 29 of Shane Coogan into the battle. That black and red car on the right side. Matt Houston there in that black and checkered Formula Indy Series car. You get the VOR car. Here comes Gavin Sanders. Craig Forsyth back there in that Players number 27 livery. Van de Sant, Musselman, all these guys right here in this picture, and Kristen Nelson back there in 8th. And now you're starting to see the handling come into play. Dakota DeMay back here, 2 seconds off, and then you got Austin Saar behind him, starting to fall off a little bit. Now Austin, I've gotten to know him pretty well. He's actually going to run on a team of mine in another league. And Austin is more of a road course guy, and he's learning these ovals. I mean, he taught me some things about the road course recently, talking to him and stuff. But when it comes to ovals, I had to teach him about the weight jacker and all that stuff, about how kind of to adjust it and those kind of things that people have taught me. So he's learning kind of the hard way here, but doing a good job in the 13th position.
Yeah, and there's quite a few drivers in this series actually that have come from a road course kind of background, including Oscar Fredrickson, including myself, and in a way Gavin Sanders as well, of course my teammates. Right. And more recently, Isaac Morris as well. He really was a road course driver, and I had to beg him to come to IndyCar a couple of months ago. Yeah, I was when we were starting VOR, right. We were looking for drivers, recruiting people, and I knew Isaac from the F1 games. And I knew that he was a good driver, so I really wanted him in the series. So it took me a while, but in the end, I managed to convince him to join the IndyCar series. And look where he is right now. He won the season championship last season, and he's having a strong chance again this season. Of course, running P2 now. This is only the 2nd race of the season, as he is still trading the lead at Michigan with Matt Houston. But he is in the running for a 2nd straight series title. Now, again here.
True story about Isaac. Now, I know recently he hasn't been able to do it because he kind of pulled a hammy doing it, or actually climbing his stairs at home. But he actually runs 5 miles before he runs on iRacing. He's a fitness guru. And which is interesting because I think about yesterday, and he was actually the first person I thought about when I got done and finished 3rd, and I went to stand up, and I'm like, oh, my legs. Because it was like right above my kneecaps. I could feel like the sharp pain from me just sitting the way I was, being so focused and tight. I realized afterwards, like, maybe it's a good thing to run that kind of deal before the race. But Joe Harleman is spun on pit road, took the yellow cone. The 2nd cone has been taken out of the evening. Robert Sadler got the 1st. But Harleman...
Yep, I think he's got suspension damage. I'm not entirely certain on that. I can't really see it from the grandstand camera here.
Yeah, he definitely has no left front wing. I'm trying to figure out what that acronym is of the racing on his car. I have a feeling I don't want to know. I say that for the sake of when I see certain letters in there, I can just immediately think, okay, that might not be the cleanest acronym. But I could be
Let's hope you are.
I'm sure I am, but you know, gotta have a little fun with it. Meanwhile, back up here at the front, you see everybody's still kind of hanging out in this pack. The only one that's really lost the pack is Dakota DeMay, and he just lost even more time here for some reason. Austin Sarr got around him. So Dakota in this 82 car, I'm not sure if he's playing the restrictor plate strategy if they do in stock cars where they kind of ride back waiting on the wreck. But he could be in that strategy right now. We have 37 laps to go in this race. Lap time still at the 32-second mark. They've only dropped about 0.3 since the green flag came out in this run.
Yep, and that lap time, of course, fluctuates as well when the drafts are battling side by side. Of course, the draft plays a big part in that, as we are again seeing drivers move to the inside and outside as well. Briefly 3 wide there for a second. But these drivers are going to be trying to get the
crossover move. Isaac crossing over Houston there.
Yep, and Isaac knows how to win around this place. Hold up, nothing.
Oh! Isaac got loose down there on that on the bottom side of turn 4 there. I saw that car try to snap on him a little bit. Surprised he didn't lose much momentum on that.
Yeah, I was just going to point it out. I'm surprised he didn't lose any momentum from that little slide there. But, Gavin is now into P3 as well, so he's going to have a little look on the battle for first place.
Now 5th car outside line. I was going to say the 4th car outside line, but 5th car outside line. Look at the 7th position. A name we haven't said all night, Christian Jasper. Started mid-pack, and here we go, pit stops right at 1:15. The leaders are coming in, and Jasper's coming in really hot. Into the inside wall. That might have helped him at speed.
I think I just had a voice crack and screaming there.
Austin Sarr coming to pit road. Now all these guys got to sort it out and get to their pit stall.
Craig going for the lead here on Shane Coogan. And Craig, he had surgery a couple of weeks ago on his feet. He is now driving again with his feet. He had the pins removed.
Oh!
And he's going again as he locks up into the pits, but he slows it down. I believe he got away with that. So yeah, he slowed it down, and I believe looking at the rest of the pit entries being quite a bit of a mess, Craig might be able to get out back on the track in the lead.
Now Jasper is still in his pit stall, so obviously he did get a speeding penalty, it looks like, when this is all over with.
That's unfortunate for him, but it's iRacing rules. Came in really hot into the pits there. I'm surprised he didn't.
Too hot.
I was surprised he didn't lock the tires more than he did there.
Hey, for effort. But Van de Sant has taken the lead back from Shane Coogan, so everybody in the lead has come to pit road. That's going to be the final pit stops likely of this evening, and a lot of cars probably short filled. So you're going to see a little bit more faster speeds probably here out of these cars because it'll be lighter weight as Forsythe joins the pack.
And I told you he might rejoin in the lead there. He's right up there in the mix.
And Coogan's going to come to pit road.
Ooh, Nelson slows it down. Okay.
Yep, everybody getting down to speed. Nelson and DeMay on pit road right now as he leaves his stall. And that hands the lead over to AJ Musselman and Alex Van de Sant, the top two right now. Everybody 4 tires and short fuel. Now, Alex obviously is playing a strategy of probably letting everybody get off pit road, and then he's going to make his own stop.
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with the traffic on pit road.
Who does?
That's a very smart strategy.
Hey, he's a Purdue graduate. I would expect it to be a smart decision on his part. Purdue, a pretty popular engineering school in Indiana, in case you didn't know.
Also already wondering what you were talking about.
Yes, it's a college.
All right. Oh, caution.
Oh, hey, caution is out, and that is going to put a lot of cars a lap down. Oh, that just changed things a lot. And the caution, I see the 14 is off the pace. Could it be Krista? Yeah, it is Krista Nelson.
If Alex can stay...
There's going to be 2 cars on the lead lap.
This will be really interesting to see if Alex got out of the pits before everybody else passed the start-finish line, because then they will get their lap back. But
So it looks like Krista's coming off pit road, and I wonder if he flips the track here or something. Oh, he gets the grass and it spins him up the track.
You mean she?
I don't know, because last week I talked to Krista and it was a gentleman speaking. So I don't know. That's why I'm just kind of playing the medium role there. I don't want to offend Krista either way. So caution comes out, and let's see how this works out now, because you have 2 cars on the lead lap. Alex Van de Sant stayed on the lead lap as he is in turn 1 and 2 right now. And apparently, per chat, the 23 punted somebody in the race, from what I'm seeing. We didn't get to see it, but Joel Harleman, maybe that's where the spin on pit road looked like happened. But here's Musselman on pit road now. So, now correct me if I'm wrong, the rules will be whoever's between Alex and the pace car will get their lap back, correct?
Yes, come the time 1 to green, that is the case.
So we're looking
any
at...
lap cars,
Go ahead.
Any lap cars directly behind the pace car should get the wave around with 1 lap to green. Then the race leader should be able to get back up behind the pace car and get the race, of course, going through normal race restart procedures.
It looks like Gavin Sanders, Craig Forsyth, Shane Coogan, Matt Houston, Isaac Morris, Nicholas Sadiq, Austin Sarr, Dakota DeMay. Those 10 cars are sitting between... those 10 cars sit between... Actually, 9. I can't count. 8 cars, actually. Between Alex Van de Sant and the pace car. So we will see 10 cars get back on the lead lap when this restart happens with less than 30 laps to go in this St. Jude, Michigan 300, which has been wild. Reminds me, I need to look outside. Is there a full moon tonight?
There's not. It was a couple of days ago, actually.
Oh, well,
I'm a bit of a nerd with these things.
So Nelson's on pit road getting the nose fixed on the 14. Unfortunately, Crystal will not finish on the podium, it looks like, this evening. So Alex Van de Sant takes the lead from the pit strategy of coming to pit road and then winning the race, or getting off pit road before the leader was able to get back to him. And because of that, Alex is looking potentially at a 2nd straight Michigan win. However, there are 8 other cars that are going to argue that as they're getting their wave around right now. They'll get around the pace car and come back around, and that'll cycle up A.J. Musselman to 2nd. And the way they're going to restart here, Gavin Sanders will be 3rd. Craig Forsyth will be 4th. Now, this is what's different for those who are used to stock car racing than IndyCar racing. The lap cars that are between Alex and the cars coming back to the lead lap are going to be in between these cars. So when I say Gavin Sanders is restarting 3rd, there's going to be roughly 3 or 4 cars between Musselman and Gavin Sanders.
Yes, so that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Of course, this is effectively a sprint to the finish right now with how many laps to go?
We're going to have 27 when we go green. So what is the proper protocol in that kind of, what are you taught in an open wheel car when you have this situation if you're a lap car? Do you just get out of the way, or do you have the right to race since these could be for position?
You have the right to defend your lap as long as it doesn't significantly hold up the race leader. So there are no direct blue flag rules like there are in F1, but you can't hold up the leader for too long.
There you go. All right, green flag's about to come back out. I see 1 car pulling down to the bottom here. Looks like it's going to get out of the way. 2 are actually getting out of the way, so that's 2 cars already that Gavin Sanders is going to get by as Van de Sant takes the green. 27 laps to go. And you can see already they pulled a 2.5 second gap because they could not pass these cars until they crossed the line. Now the problem is the way this draft works. Alex might end up getting too far out there. And here comes Musselman to the lead. The 54 to the front.
And if these the top 2 are smart, they're going to try to work together instead of battling too hard. Of course, you got 27 laps to go. I would say you could probably work together for about 20, and then the final 7 laps you could really start fighting for the win.
Right. And they're probably drafting off each other right now.
Yeah. And of course, by doing that, they can pull away from the rest of the pack. So really, they're securing themselves at least a top 2 finish.
Right. Here come the Hungry Hounds off of turn 2.
Yeah, they're coming.
IndyCar version of running from the cops.
It really does look mean, though. The cars coming out of turn 2 and turn 4.
And knowing that those 2 cars up ahead there, as you see from Craig Forsyth, are trying to get away.
Yeah, this is very much a police chase, except on the Oval of Michigan.
And they're really not made any ground. It's still a 2.5-second gap.
Yeah, and I did notice that Craig and the car ahead, I believe that was Gavin. Both of these drivers were using the bottom line, to my surprise. It was really going to wear out the tires.
As the 23 car here of Jose Miguel Phillips of Figuera is one of the lap cars right here trying to pass by the 10. And he's trying to get his lap back the hard way as he sits the only car 1 lap down in this race. Problem is he's got almost 2.6 seconds to catch these 2, and if it stays this way, you're looking at the race for the win right here between Musselman and Van de Sant. At the line there, I think Musselman led it by a cone of a nose. Looking at the lead difference still at about 2.5 seconds right now, as Joe Harrelman makes an unscheduled pit stop. So there's those guys, and then there's these guys.
Ooh, that was a bit scary there.
One car working its way to the bottom. That's Coogan. Now Matt Houston is also in this pack. One name I do not see is Isaac. Oh, there's Isaac up in third. Never mind. I'm like, where's Isaac? Oh, and there goes the lap car, Miguel. Spinning at turn 2, and that brings the caution out.
Just about didn't manage to keep it out of the wall.
Just kissed it. Jose Miguel Phillips Figuera bringing out the caution again with 20 laps to go.
And of course, there are no left cars in the way anymore, so this is going to be a massive, massive dogfight.
Yeah, this is going to get good now.
20 laps to go.
Do you get tires?
Yes, if you're in the back of the little group, I would for sure get tires. If you're Dakota right now, or even Austin Sarr in P9, or even Nicolas Sudi, you can really just pit right now without losing anything. 1 position or 2 positions really doesn't lose you as much in a pack race like this. And taking fresh tires is always going to be a little bit of an advantage. But I think in a pack race like this, it's going to be a massive advantage because you just got so much more grip than the guys around you on all the tires.
Now, there is 1 lap car up here in the picture, and that is the 81 of Christian Allegio, who's in the 12th position, 2 laps down. He is the 3rd car in line here, as pit road should open up this time by, and we'll get the leaders in here.
But it might be setting a dummy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 1st, 2nd, stay out. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, stay out.
Watch the guys in the back.
Everybody stays out. On the lead lap, stays out.
I'm surprised the guys further back in this little group
like
didn't,
Dakota, Austin, maybe Sadiq, as you mentioned, those guys there. Why not come to pit road? I mean, you're going to restart back in the same spot anyways.
Exactly, yeah. That's a bit of a surprising strategy, but they're in the cockpit, so they must
know what
better.
they're doing. I don't. I mean, I grew up racing ovals. I grew up racing ovals on iRacing and stuff like that, and I made 5 career starts in this league, and I finished 1 race. That race was a road course. Figure that out.
You ran 2nd for a while with me though in California, so that's
it was this kind of race too. So guess where I'd probably have been tonight? Wrecked.
I'm sure you will be dominating. Nah, you wouldn't wreck.
Hey, I was trying to make that 24 look good for Jim.
I think he did well.
I thought so. And then I clipped the apron, and usually the apron wins at Auto Club. So Alex Van de Sant leads, AJ Musselman, Isaac Morris, Forsyth Coogan. So everybody's going to be back together. We'll get a restart with less than 20 laps to go. Now, if we get a restart with less than 10 to go, that is when they will drag Christian Alesio to the back and say, all right, y'all have it to yourselves now up front. But next week, Barber Motorsports Park. Should be a fun road course race there. They'll get to figure out the hilly parts of that course, including a chicane that's very tricky on a hill.
Yes, on the backside of the circuit. The Barber race is in 2 weeks, by the way, April 17th.
Oh, correct. We have next week off. Right.
So that's going to be the first road course of the season. Later on in the season, we are also going to Road America again. Lately, with the new time model, Road America really is a lot of fun. We ran that in the virtual IndyCar series earlier today with my teammates Gavin, Gary, Robert, Oscar, and myself. And I personally didn't really have too great of a race. I mean, I was up at the front, but on the final lap, battling with one of my Dutch friends, Max Jansen, and I was in P3, and then of course did the spin out, as I call it, and spun and dropped down to P5. So not too great of a race for me, but at least Gavin won that one, so that was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And thinking about it, I won't have any broadcast next Saturday night because there's a Martinsville Cup race.
Ah, yeah, that's something to watch then.
I did that purposely, actually, in the other league. Because we were like,
I had nothing to do on Saturday.
I put the schedule together for that league, and they were like, we need to put a weekend off somewhere. And I picked that weekend because I knew Martin, and I didn't even think of Easter at that moment. Just like, here, do this one. There's a night race that week. So, anyways, pace car pulls off as Van de Sant's going to lead him to the green. Musselman, Morris, Forsyth, Coogan, and Gavin Sanders going to bring him back to the green. Let's see if Alesio jumps out of the way here as he moves to the bottom. Yeah, this might be one of those things where he lets everybody kind of get the draft going and then jumps out of the way. That would be a unique move to make.
That would be nice.
That's exactly what he did. He's pulling off right here on the back straightaway. He kind of helped everybody draft their way up here. As we have 18 laps to go now. This is really going to get going now.
Yeah, Musselman to the inside line there.
Yep, Musselman going to take the lead here as the rest of this pack's going to start to really draft up on these cars. Now, how far separation is a max before you do not feel the draft anymore?
About 1.5 seconds.
So it's 1.5 here too. Okay. As Alex and Musselman playing swap the lead again.
That's really what we've been seeing all day long. The top two cars swapping the lead pretty much at every end of the racetrack. One car would lead into turns 1 and 2, and then the other would lead in turns 3 and 4, and they will swap around again the next lap, as you're seeing Alex go to the inside now. And that's what's been happening all race long, and you're probably going to see that to the end. So really what this is about now is timing the pass right now for the race lead. Do you want to lead in turns 1 and 2 on the final lap, or do you want to lead in turns 3 and 4 on the final lap? And of course, you want to lead turns 3 and 4.
I want to lead coming out of turn 4 on the final lap.
Yes, I think that's when everybody wants to lead.
Oh, trouble! Alex Van de Sant's in the wall. Van de Sant and Forsyth. Watch out, everybody else. And that brings the caution out. Now, I was just about to say Sanders ran the fastest lap of the race, but let's see what happens here. I just looked up, and I'm guessing. Well, I hope there wasn't contact between him and Musselman. Oh, netcode. Netcode between Alex and Isaac Morris. There was a good bit of gap between the two. And for those who don't know what netcode is basically when two computers don't connect with each other, basically. And it creates a space, and yeah. I'll just show it to you in slow-mo here. So you're going to see Alex going to try to come down. Isaac's right there So basically the two computers are in the network are saying they are touching each other there when really there's still 6 feet or 6 inches to a foot of space. And Craig, nowhere to go. Hope his feet are okay. His virtual feet.
I was just going to say, I think his real feet are going to be fine, but...
Well, I don't know. He might have kicked something for being mad.
Well, I did that in the Road America race tonight.
I mean, I might or might not have thrown things before. I might or might not know of audio of my father, who was an iRacer for a little bit, of ripping his steering wheel off the wheel for something.
How do you do that?
Oh, there's audio. That's all I'm going to say. Not for me, but somebody has the audio, and I've heard it plenty of times, and I actually start crying when I laugh so hard because of, one, my dad passed away a couple years ago, so it's, you know, obviously you hear his voice, you think of him, but then you're laughing because it's my dad. But it's I appreciate that. But now he ran out of fuel and pulls his car to his pit stall and slides over his stall by like an inch, and he had to tow back to the pits. And yeah, he pretty much got so mad that the next thing you hear is something just being torn apart, and that was him yanking his wheel off of the desk it was on, apparently, or something.
Yeah, I had a similar situation in the TI IndyCar League in Season 1 at the Charlotte Roval. There is plenty of memes around. Robert Sadler, my teammate, he actually made one of those meme videos.
I need a meme. Let me see this meme.
Okay.
Well, obviously, you can't show it here on chat, but I'll have to look for it in the VOR Discord later.
I will look it up right now for you. We have a caution anyway. So. But yeah, I know the frustration of overshooting the pit box and not being able to recover it and having to tow.
It happens.
Just like in the TI Truck Series race at Eldora when I hit the you
ran your first dirt race this week. That you were doing pretty well, and unfortunately somebody slid up into you. But,
yeah, well, I was really disappointed with that, but it is what it is. It was an all-star race anyway.
It was all for fun. So, but no, we're gonna have continued fun here. We got a little over 10 laps to go in this race, and then after this, we'll head over to Talladega Super Speedway. Got some stock car racing coming up next from the. Actually, ironically, a league sponsored by Dakota. It's the Sunset Arctic Games Grand National Series for the league I help admin, and league that my dad and I actually found. USRC, they run at, they'll start at 10 o'clock at Talladega. So we go from one pack race to another.
I might have to stay up and watch that then.
Everybody should stay up and watch. I mean, we got fantastic pack racing all night here. Saturday night, nobody's got school tomorrow.
Nope. Fantastic broadcaster as well, so that helps.
Suck up. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to give you a compliment right now.
I appreciate that. So, hey, I do it for the viewers. Like I said, the viewers and the racers. And Craig Forsyth just checked in on Discord saying on chat saying his feet are okay, apparently. All right, gonna come back to the green with 12 laps to go. And AJ Musselman, Isaac Morris, Gavin Sanders, Shane Coogan, Matt Houston. 8 cars on the lead lap.
Yes, and AJ got a good jump from the restart there, so that's going to help him for probably a half a lap until the draft is going to catch the group back up. But it should be a good race for AJ there. He's in prime position to win this one, I believe, right now. 12 laps to go, of course. Really, it is up to him and now Isaac, of course, as well on the inside there. Where they want to position the car. Do you want to lead in turns 3 and 4 on the final lap, or turns 1 and 2 on the final lap?
I think it's got to be 3 and 4, just the way this pack is working. But we'll see what happens here. 11 laps to go. As they say in this kind of racing, if you're on the lead lap, you can win it.
Very true statement.
Right now you got 6 of these cars in the lead pack right now. Dakota DeMay and Austin Sarr are trying to catch the pack. But right now we got 6 of them right here in the run for the lead as they'll come to 10 laps to go. 20 miles in a St. Jude, Michigan 300 from the Irish Hills. And look at Shane Coogan run the high side in the draft.
He's going for it now. The gloves are off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure fuel mixture's at 1 now for everybody.
Shane won the last pack race in VOR, by the way, at Auto Club Speedway in Season 2, the final race of the season. We actually had a battle on the final couple of laps together, Shane and I, and I got the worst of that, but Shane did win that race.
That was the race I drafted with you, I believe.
Yeah, that was. And he won that race, so he's the most recent pack race winner in VOR.
Look at this! 3 wide for second, 3 wide for fourth. 3 wide everywhere. And here comes Dakota. He's starting to catch up, and Austin Saar, not so much. He might be still within two. Well, I was going to say he's catching up 2, but he's still about 2. He's actually catching up, as a matter of fact. He's 1.9 back now. Those might be the cars to watch because they might get such a good tow that they can just carry the momentum. And look at this, 3 wide for the lead. It's going to look like Indianapolis start here in a second.
Keep an eye out on Dakota, by the way. He's the last car in this actual group of cars. So if there is a wreck, I'm not saying that there will be a wreck, but if there is going to be a wreck, Dakota should be in the best position to take advantage of that. He is the car running in the back of this. As they're again going 3 wide across the start-finish line here, going into turns 1 and 2.
Fantastic racing here. Now, Austin is not going to catch the pack. He's still 2.5 back. I don't know if he lost a nose or something, but he fell off the pack there just a few minutes ago. So it looks like it's going to be a 7-person race for the win of this race. Now, Austin could be just laying back saying, all right, I'm going to let them wreck.
Pick up the pieces, yeah.
More 3 wide across the line that time by the... Somebody led that lap.
It's really hard. It's actually impossible to tell who leads a lap with the timing and scoring from the overlays that we have.
Oh, there's a block.
Yep, blocking is going to happen right now.
Are they allowed to block in this league?
No, they're not. So
I'm thinking.
If there is a protest, then we'll have to look into that. But so far, let's just filter this as hard and clean racing.
Oh, I'm sure if anyone's going to complain, come on, this is fun stuff right here. 5 laps to go until they wreck. Then it's not fun anymore. They're going to go 4 wide, Matt Houston.
Yep, 4 wide.
They tried. I mean, here you can go about 25 wide if you wanted. But the problem is you got to get back down to about 3 right here.
It seems like they have actually kind of rubbered in the inside line there, if that even makes sense with these Indy cars. You see it a lot in the stock cars, and yet I'm basing this off the dirt race that we did. But you really are seeing these drivers using a lot more of the inside line right there. As you see Gavin having a little look there as well, on the first proof there.
Austin Saar's got it down to a 2.5 seconds, so he's coming. And they're at the point of no return, I used to call this, back when I broadcasted before green-white checkers. The point of no return is when you cross the lap, that once caution comes out, the race is over. So we're at a point of no return now. 4 laps to go, coming to 3 to go. Well, that got close. Easy, boys. Matt Houston, oh, I thought he was going to stick his nose in there. Saar's cleared the lap car back there, so now he is within the sniff of the pack.
Three wide again.
Who is going to win this race?
You will see it after the ad break.
Well done. Well done with the tease. 2 laps to go. In what has been a wild St. Jude 300 at Michigan Speedway, the first of 3 Triple Crown races. All 3 of them 300 miles starting here at the Michigan Speedway. The Brickyard will be next, and then Pocono Raceway later on in the season. Of course, next week they hit the road course at Barber Motorsports Park, so they'll be able to take a break from the headache they're going to have after this race.
Yeah, and I just saw Isaac pull a big block on, I believe that was Matt there. So final
white flag.
Lap.
Here we go. Final lap. That's Coogan down there to the bottom. That's actually Isaac Morris. Coogan leads. They slide up the track. That leaves room for Musselman. He decides to go to the high side. Here comes Sadiq into the picture. He's never won a race here. 3 wide down to turn 3 and 4. They're going to come to the finish. Morris is going to get the lead off turn 4. This race is not over. Morris trying to protect at the line. Isaac Morris wins it.
That was with 6,000ths of a second.
That race I could call to the finish. Isaac Morris wins it by 6/1000ths of a second. And if you're Nicholas Sadiq, you tell your friends, hey, I lost by 67/1000ths of a second. Oh, great job finishing second. No, I finished 4th. What a finish.
Matt Houston, the big loser in the final lap of the race as well, dropping from, I believe, P2 all the way to P5 there in the end. So, bit of a shame for Matt, but I think he'll happily take these points anyway.
Yeah.
But for Isaac, it is redemption for the Season 1 Michigan race, where he lost out by literally nothing to Oscar Gonzalez. So, congrats to Isaac. And he's actually one of my teammates indirectly on the 5150 performance team, as Isaac literally drives the victory lane.
Hang on, park it there. It's like he's practiced this before. Oh, why not? It's a victory lane donuts. Shot for the wall. Oh, he got it. VOR is going to claim that one too. Well, let's get Isaac up here. I'm going to let you go your way. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys up here in the booth. We can talk to our top finishers in the race, if they're even here to talk to. Nobody's in here right now but you and I.
Yeah. So I will go then. Thanks everybody for watching the stream, and it's been a pleasure to join you once again in the booth. So thanks for having me, and hopefully I don't have to see you again next week, and that's not to be rude or anything, but I'm hoping to finish the race for once.
I will not take that offense one bit. So hey, good luck. Good luck next week, buddy. Julian Altena there, unfortunately finishing out of the race in the 21st position. So you'll see the final results over there on the left-hand side of the screen. Because unfortunately I don't have anything technology-wise to show other than that, because again, if you're just joining us, I had a very interesting program crash or something, a reset that happened earlier tonight, and I had to pretty much start over on this program, and that's left me with the generic stuff again. All right, so we'll talk to our top 3 if they're here, and then we'll go over to Talladega and get ready for USRC, which will be going green here in about 15 minutes or so. I'll take just a quick minute break after we talk here to say goodnight to my wife and daughter, and then come back and broadcast the race. Let's get our let's get the 3rd place finisher. They're all here, so let's get 3rd place AJ Musselman. I believe this is 2nd straight top 2 finish when it's all over with. AJ Musselman, congratulations to you, sir. 3rd place finish for you. Another top 3. Another time talking to you here on the podium, but that finish, you did everything you could do. Is there anything you could have done different?
No, I think, well, maybe on the initial restart, I could have maybe launched a little bit later, so the run wasn't quite as good for the 3rd place car. I brought both 2nd and 3rd, with me on the restart there. Then I was playing catch up from there on out. But no, a great race overall. I'm really happy with back-to-back podiums to start off the season.
How did it feel to get that caution with about 30 laps to go? You guys coming to pit road, and you're the one when it didn't come to pit road until the caution came out, but that made the strategy interesting, got you some track position.
Yeah, that was my plan. I love it when plans work out. Week everything worked.
They rarely
out there
do,
too.
but they worked.
Yeah. So using all my good, I hope I'm not using up all my good luck now. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Again, let's do something different. Let's pit here on that one yellow. So I was able to go much longer than everybody else out there. But Dakota, who pitted earlier than he needed to. But yeah, great track position. I jumped from like 10th to 1st, and then I had a nice little battle there with Alex Van de Sant, and it was really sad to see him get net coated there. Great guy to race with, and I'm sorry that his day ended early.
Well, great job on your end. Congratulations on your top 3. Sunshine, so whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, Turn 4 Racing. Any friends and family watching? Really happy with Nick Sadiq's result there in P4. Good rebound from last week, so good day for the team overall. We'll see you at the next race.
Absolutely, sounds good. Barber Motorsports Park next weekend. We'll see you on the road, or 2 weeks from now, I should say. We'll see you on the road course. So nice job to AJ. And let's go get our second place finisher, Shane Coogan. As Shane gets another top 2 finish on a draft track, we'll call it. A pack racing. Shane, we were just talking last time there was a pack race, was back at Auto Club a couple seasons ago, and you won that race, and tonight you fall just 6/1000ths of a second from another win.
Yeah, Chris, it was a good one out there. It was a fun race. Wanted to just be there at the end because there's lots of crazy stuff going on early,
right.
But just tried to kind of take care of our stuff, and last few laps were pretty fun there. Isaac and AJ and everybody up there, we were giving each other good room, so it was fun. I think my only chance was really to take the inside going into 3 on that last lap, and Isaac did a hell of a job, keeping his nose in there. So overall fun race.
Yeah, I was going to say, was there anything you could have done different? Because obviously Isaac made the move there inside on turn 3 and 4.
Yep.
And that's kind of what put you in that spot. But, I mean, you almost got it back with the draft.
Almost got it back. It's a really tough it's a tough one here, because if you stay low too much and kind of overheat your tires, you can start sliding around.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was just getting around a little bit better down there, and he managed to make that work a little bit better. But yeah, I think that's really it. You got to be able to get around people on the inside and hold it down there, and almost made it work around the outside, but not this time. But good run overall for the guys, and just shout out to Race First. It's good to have a good run with the Race First livery, and Matt and Dakota and Thomas, my teammates, and also we got Sunset Arctic Games, Dakota's company, and Western Waves, which is my my music business on the side. So good to get a good result after Homestead. I think we had probably one of the faster runs at Homestead, but the strategy kind of bit us. But good to get a top 2 here.
Well, great job this evening. Send shout out to whoever you'd like to.
Shout outs to any friends, family watching. Shout out to my brother Tyler. Sometimes he joins in too in races, which is cool. Again, teammates Matt, Dakota, Thomas, and Race First, Sunset Arctic, obviously. And thanks, Chris, for doing the broadcast too. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, no sweat. Appreciate it, Shane, and we will talk in 2 weeks.
Cool, sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely, Shane Coogan there, second place finish for him. Let me go back to the right channel here as I'm trying to multitask a little bit. And let's go get our winner, Isaac Morris, and bring him up here to victory lane as Isaac gets the first win of the season for the champ. As you get back to victory lane in a wild finish. Talk about setting yourself up on that final lap as you came through 3 and 4, got to that low line, and was able to sneak your way up to the front.
To be honest, Chris, after turn 2, I thought that was it, because Shane had such an excellent run on me out of 2. I generally thought that was it, because if he was just going to slot the car in front of me, ready for turn 2, I would have had the dirty air and AJ, and other people would have been able to pass me. But looking back on it now, I think I took a really early turn in and managed to carry a lot of speed into the corner, and then it just set me up perfectly for the start finish to win the race. And I think with AJ being on the outside as well really helped me, because otherwise I think Shane could have taken a wider entry into 3 and got a better run. But overall, it was just an excellent finish. My heart was racing.
Right.
I'm waiting for that timing sheet to update. That was a scary few seconds, but it feels nice to win an oval race. It's nice to be it's nice not to be a one-trick pony around road courses.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so
you've showed your talent out there on those ovals and stuff like that, and you definitely did a great job tonight, swapping the lead out with Houston a few times, and then bringing in what you doing what you did tonight and into that finish and stuff like that. But did you feel like when you went into 3 and 4 and took that lead, did you feel that maybe it was too soon and maybe you should have waited coming off of 4 to make the move, or did you know that, or even practice before that move happening?
I'm going to be honest with you, Chris. I hadn't done any practice for this race.
Well, I mean, a lot of racing don't do that anymore, so hey.
Yeah, it's an oval. Like, you literally have to practice 4 corners. Well, 2 if you want to be a road course guy, you know. But yeah, I'm just thankful I've got another great team behind me. Obviously, I departed with Race First, and they were a great team for me last season. And I'm lucky to have jumped onto Gary's team, 5150 Motorsport, and have another, a great team supporting me this season. And it was excellent to race against the Race First guys. There was a lot of respect. Literally, like, I had no complaints about anything with them. And, we managed to put on a great show for everyone tonight for those last 10 laps. Well,
great job tonight. Send shout outs whoever you like to, bud.
So I'd like to give a big thanks to Gary for having me on the team. And
somebody
I
texted
just
you.
want to... this is my wheelbase turning off. And I just... unfortunately, I don't know all the sponsors on the car yet. So I just want to say thanks to all the sponsors. And... yeah, it's nice to be on victory lane and winning my first race of the season. So yeah, well, I'd like to give a shout out to my brother. He's probably not watching, but he's always supported me. He's always helping me push harder week in, week out, just to get to be a better driver. And I think that's it. And I think it's bedtime.
Sounds good to me. Well, great job, Isaac. Congratulations on your win, brother.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem. Isaac Morris, the winner tonight, as he scores the victory, the champion from last season, getting himself another win, which ends up being number 4 of his career, number 1 this season. So congratulations to Isaac. So I'm going to jump off because I got to go to another broadcast here in about 5 minutes. So appreciate you guys watching here on Captain TV for the Velocity Online Racing Series. Thanks to iRacing for allowing me to broadcast on their platform and stuff of this series with VOR, and thanks to Robert and Julian for allowing me to be a part of the broadcast. Thank you, fans, for working with me with my issues here that unfortunately I have tonight, and we'll definitely make it better for next Saturday. So you guys enjoy. Remember, this isn't just a game. This is iRacing. So I'm off. I'm going to go get ready for this other broadcast. You'll see another upcoming broadcast if you're on YouTube right now. Just click that. That's where I'll be going to after this. So you guys enjoy your night.